Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. I am Lily. Today we are going to do part 3 of the Migrants Patch Challenge. Last episode we left the tribe at year 13 going into 14. We had just migrated from the coast and back to the Wonky River Valley. So today I'm going to try to finish the series with getting over 250 members, and I estimate with 1 or 2 medium-sized migration group that I will reach this within year 15 or perhaps even year 16. If we get no migrant groups, I might have to play the tribe longer. This will be the last part of the Migrant Patch Challenge, and I do hope that you will enjoy it as much as I have been doing all the time. It is really fun to see how you can use the different methods we have in the game available in order to keep your people alive, and I also really enjoy learning new stuff as I go along, because I haven't played a large tribe like this for many months, and a lot of things have changed. When that is said, buckle up ladies, let's get going. Okay, so this is where we left the tribe last time. I have placed down fireplaces and also the dryers, and I will chuck down some of these pelt huts as well. I think I will go for 3 to start with. I can't tear everyone away from their chores because they really need to get food as well, because people are hungry and we are going to lose people, I think, due to the combination of lack of housing and also that people are hungry. Yeah, didn't go long. It's like 1 day and then someone decided they did not want to even wait another day. But yeah, let's keep going. It's all we can do. Hope we don't lose too many. It will take a few days to get things up and running like it always does in such a huge tribe. Okay, so all the dryers are done. That's good. That means we get to process our food, and then I've placed down some extra few huts, hoping that at least some of them will be done by day 3, which is tomorrow. I have had no more people leaving. That is good. We've only had 1 grumpy leaving so far, but you know, they're all grumpy. They all have a higher or lower degree of unrest based on how hungry they are, or if they have slept in the open, which they all have. They have all slept in the open for 2 days now. I need to get the fireplaces up, and I do need to get the pelt huts up, because otherwise we will lose more people. We have 148 members, and it shows that we lost like 3 leaving in the last place, where we also lost 1 to starvation. So we are down a few compared to what we really should have had. But you know, you have to calculate that some people, especially those who have this the negative traits or the negative grades of the traits, because they can't work so much and they don't want to work so much, and if they go a few days without proper sleeping arrangements, or if they go 1 day feeling hungry, they might be so annoyed that they are just leaving, especially if they have high will, and you just have to let them go. But trying to keep the majority happy, kind of what you need to prioritize, and not focus on any one single member that is disgruntled. We need to do on the whole here, so I just have to let them go, those who are so quickly building up their unrest. I can't do anything for only 1 out of 150 people. It is going to be really difficult to maintain a large tribe if I always have to adjust everything according to a person. I just can't do that, and I will not do it if it is any kind of trait induced unrest that is causing the issue. Okay, I really should get down a few tanners as well to keep up these pelt huts. So let's chuck down a few. That'll do it. Let's see. Yeah, that should do it, I think. Not exaggerating in the slightest with 6 of them. In the slightest. So also have 5 huts up, and the majority of the fireplaces. This means that the unrest will slowly but surely go down, and hopefully I can increase my groups and get more food, and then we will have so that the majority of the tribe is actually content and have a very low unrest. Adding 1 more fishing group and maxing it out, hoping that I can get some more fish in before winter sets in, and the policies are still the same. This lead is still going strong. She will go strong for quite a while, but you see she has already placed some of her restrictions. So now I have all my huts up, and I really should consider building more quality huts instead of just the pelt huts. Let's see if we can reduce the unrest even more. So all the pelt huts are done. The fireplaces just need maintenance. I've placed down another big straw hut. And now I'm going to place down some lovely benches. That's more like it. Now let's see how the unrest will go down with a good quality hut. And against all odds, we have 0 hazelnuts. This place has no hazelnuts. It has no blackberries. I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, have I ever had hazelnuts and blackberries in this place? I can't remember. I don't think so. But one day we will have luck. One day we will have both blackberries and also hazelnuts. And then we will feast. Just getting down some baskets to store our food for the winter. I've also placed down a few pits so we can store whatever plant food is incoming for spring. I'm now optimistic, thinking that we will last through the winter. We might not though, because I'm not impressed with the food seed in the slightest in here. What's wrong with you? Why are you not being built? Oh, there's a stone there, so people can't really access it properly to build it. Sure, fine, I'll take it away. It's fine. We have plenty other tanners. Gotta assign resources to these baskets. You're going to be fish, and you are going to be meat. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the pits to get done, because they will contain all the plant produce that is coming in for spring, and hopefully, if we're still here, summer. But yeah, it needs to be assigned produce to each and every one. Okay, so the groups are still the same, and I should probably up them a little bit. I'm just going to check what the problems are. We can't get fine raw stones. Well, they are scarce, and luckily for us, we only use them for the axes. But we do have 20 of them because we are a huge tribe. So this might actually be one of the reasons why we would have to migrate. Or we could only not build anything on anywhere that has any trees. Then we don't really need access, because you don't need access to get logs, because you can just task your gatherers to pick them up or to crop old trunks. So that is not the worst problem. Okay, so chucking down some more fireplaces will not be a bad idea. It will reduce some of the unrest that people who has to sleep in the open will get. So let's just get that done. Okay, so now she has become older, and hence she has restricted the policies even more. So now my workforce has diminished even more down. This might be an issue, not like severe issue at the moment, but I'm almost certain this will be a severe issue when it's maxed out, so that we can only do adults working and effectively have 0 rationing. It seems we have gotten an eternal friend. Nabar is constantly thinking about leaving, yet he is still here, and I cannot get rid of the notification. There is a tiny, tiny bug here. It does, however, go away when I restart the game, so we can get rid of it if it gets too annoying. But for now, let's just have Nabar as our constant companion. What's the harm in it? Nothing! And as you can see, I have had to increase the fishing groups, and it is slowly filling up, but I don't think I will have enough people for this. Let me see, she's still on the same restrictions. Getting older, but she's still very strong. She's still very strong. You can see that her restrictions are getting quite severe now. So, yeah, this is going to be an issue. Not today, not tomorrow, but in a few seasons' time, we are going to struggle a little bit, depending on the size of the tribe, and if we are going to continue to have this curse of absolutely horrendous seed for food. Can't have it like this. I mean, I should have picked a tribe that would landed in rich, hot areas, but I didn't. I picked the mountain areas and arid coastline. Seriously, always have to pick the worst and try to beat all the records and beat all the odds and push the limits. Well, I find that fun, so here we go. Here we are. Since I don't have enough people to add more groups, I cannot get in more food. Oh, my people are so hungry and they are grumpy, all of them. I think I have to throw in the towel for this place with this horrendous seed of food and just migrate again. I think we should perhaps go back to the coast again, and this time I will remember to task my gatherers with picking clams. So one learn from one mistakes, one hope. So let's get all these pelt huts dismantled, bring with us the leather and the fine sticks, take with us everything that is produced, all the food, and just up and leave, because this place is going to kill us. I know it's winter, I know it's a horrendous time to migrate, but we have no choice. We have been so unlucky with all the places. Certainly this curse has to be lifted soon. Crossing fingers. And as you can see, Nabar is still with us. He might have a high will and be very determined. Certainly looks like it. Okay, so here we are. I can already see the rosehip bushes. That is fantastic. We haven't seen those when we have landed for quite a while, have we? And there's quite a few of them, so that is excellent. However, we are in the middle of the winter, so they are not going to feed us yet. Let's just plonk down the fireplaces, get it done, just chalk down a ton of them, and send off people to get food immediately. Clam you will get all year round, so that will come in immediately. And I just hope that we soon get a migrant group so we can up our groups. Otherwise, we will be having to wait for the tribe leader to die and hope that we get someone who has low restrictions on her policies or his policies or wherever it is. Crossing fingers. Really, Lily? You don't know what sticks look like? Keep pressing and hoping that you're hitting sticks? Yeah, well, keep going. Oi, finally found one. Good job, good job. I am going to be optimistic here and take away some of the groups because I do lack people due to the restrictions of the tribe leader. So I'm going to take away one of the fishing groups, and I'm also going to reduce my hunters, hoping that we will manage with whatever we have. We have no choice. We don't have enough people to have all the groups that I want to have to keep everyone super happy with food and to take away the rationing. So the rationing will have to stay until we basically have enough food to keep everyone fed. We don't. I'm not sure we ever will, because as you grow larger and larger, you will use more and more food. And if the people are not allowed to work from from a fairly young age until a fairly old age, I will lack people. Because at the moment, the restrictions is that if you are past 50, you don't need to work, and if you are below 10, you don't need to work, and that is hindering me in doing things the way I want to do things. But that is one of the challenges that you have to overcome. You need to figure out how to survive with the restrictions that you have been given by your tribe leader. It's part of the game, it's part of survival. So we just have to get on with it and get it sorted somehow. We either do it or we have to give up. And giving up is not in my vocabulary. It's not going to happen. Ever. Chalking down a few storage areas for the stone and the sticks, so it's not so far for them to walk to get it to build the fireplaces. Okay, let's get going. Full speed. Let's get some action going. We need the fireplaces. We need food. We need food. Let's get going. Yeah, the fireplaces are certainly getting along, and we are getting food. And look, we have clams. I did not forget to add clams to my harvesters. Go me. We also have a few beetroots. I haven't seen those in a while. And look at the fish coming in. That is fantastic. That is great. So maybe we were lucky with this seed. And I do hope I didn't jinx us now. crossing everything I have. Please, karma, be kind. Yeah, right. Okay, so day 2, and people have finished building the fireplaces, so some of the unrest will be appeased. It won't be much, but it will be better than a kick in the teeth. And let's get down the dryers, because we are going to need to dry the food. Let me see. We are almost in spring. That means I cross everything I have that we actually are going to get a few berries this time around. Maybe we are so lucky with this seed that we will get berries, and the luxury of hazelnuts in this arid area. You know, next time I make a video like this, it won't be a challenge video. It will be a holiday video where I will choose a warm place, a tropical area with all the food types and all the prey types and always summer and mild Neolithic climate and everything. Um, I can't wait to have a really relaxing game where you actually can go down to the kitchen and make a sandwich, and when you come back up again, your tribe is actually still alive. I mean, I wonder what that feels like. Right, all puzzles down there. I placed quite a few, didn't I? Might be a little bit too many in one go. Nah, we're good. Oh my goodness, look at the beetroot. We have so many. Let's remember the tanners. We need tanners to keep up with the pelt huts. We have lots of leather, but in an ever-growing tribe, we are going to need more. Right, so let's also get down some baskets for the raw produce and also for the finished product. And we really should get more for the honey as well, and also build pits, because I see there's quite a bit of beetroot here. So we need to preserve it as best as we can. There is a really nice trickle of food at the moment, and I hope to God I didn't jinx myself now. Please, please, please. Almighty deity of ancient cities, look kindly upon me. Thank you. Then it is time for the pits. Let's make at least the one for each. And I am going to be very optimistic and assume that there will be more than 5 kilos of hazelnuts this time around. We shall wait and see. Let's not sell the skin before the bear has been shot, or in this case, before the boar has been shot. I'm also putting down a big straw hut. We now have 170 members, but where are the migrants? We haven't seen migrants since London burned. That is quite a while back. Well, where we are playing is quite a while into the future, but here we are. Yeah, they don't like sleeping in the open. If that is the main concern, if that is the main complaint that they have at the moment, then we are doing exceptionally well. So I am not worried in the slightest about that. Oh, I fear that we're gonna have a wave of elder dying soon. Look at the amount of elder. We have 44 elder. Well, it is what it is. It's circle of life. Look at how all the straw and everything that I haven't placed down storage areas for is being piled around the fireplaces. Well, you know, when you pile straw around the fireplaces, it's kind of looking like it belongs, you know? Like people are going to sleep in it at night. I wish that would be like an emergency solution, because that will actually keep people warm, believe it or not. We have lovely amounts of food coming in. Look at the fish, it's lovely, lovely. And we also have dried fish. We normally don't have dried fish. It always goes raw because people are constantly hungry. So it doesn't get time to dry properly. But yeah, we are going into spring now. So crossing fingers that we will get some berries. The clam is quite little. I wonder if we've over harvested a little bit. We might have done. I mean, we are 170 people. There is going to be a lot of harvesting, and things are going to go out and we'll be needing replenishment quickly. Let's have a look and see if we can figure out who of these is going to be the next tribe leader. So what we need to look at first is obviously charisma, and since charisma is increasing with age, we should look at those who are grey, those who are over 50. Then we need to look at their charisma, and then we need to look at their skill and their fitness, because all these traits or the grades of these traits and stuff plays a part in if you are chosen. Some of these grades are actually tie breakers if there are two equals. So let's have a look. 143, yeah. There's so many to choose from, isn't there? I mean, it can be so nuanced who it is that gets the leader position of these. And you know, within 2 sleeps, all the charismas have changed, hasn't it? Things have changed. Stuff is going down, stuff is going up. So yeah, it's difficult to pinpoint exactly, but there is going to be a good ballpark guess, I assume. Well, you know me, I will have my benches because I love the benches. So I'm going to try to place them in the middle this time. I've never done that before, but then again, I've never had a million fireplaces before, so there's that. But here's to trying new things. So we have survived the winter against our odds. We are now starting spring very shortly, and we still have food. It is going down a little bit, so let's just cross our fingers we can stay a bit longer. We have also managed to get rid of a lot of the unrest, and there is the odd ones who still have some unrest due to having to sleep out in the open or basically by the fireplace. I'm going to add a few more huts just to see if we can get the unrest even more down. Last time we had a dude that left us as we migrated. I mean, he didn't even want to wait that one day. But then again, it was probably accumulated unrest that finally made him leave. He might have met someone else while we were uprooting our camp. Who knows? There could be some secret tribes out there just stealing my members. Who knows? So we actually have managed to stave off the very, very large majority of the unrest because we have enough food for everyone. The rationing is still on 1 notch, and my tribe leader has put down the restrictions so that it is people between 52 and 56 working, and also children between 8 and 10 that can work. So I have a few more people that can work, so I have of course upped my hunters and my groups so that we can accommodate the need for food. We are going to go into summer soon, and that is going to be so great because we are in desperate need of other types of food. Okay, so summer is almost upon us, and as you can see, we have started to get in rose hips, which is excellent. We had 0 berries, by the way, so this place does not have any type of berries and not blackberries either. But it does have, of course, the rose hips, because we can see the bushes, can't we? And it does have a fair amount of hazelnuts. I, however, do not think that we can manage to stay until after the summer unless the hunters start to go for the much larger prey all the time, so we can get in bigger amounts of meat at the time, because the fish is certainly coming in well still. And as we can see, we still have Nabar, our constant companion, with us. He will go away though when I restart the game, so it's not like he's a nuisance. It's just he's becoming an old dear friend, isn't he? Okay, almost summer now, but as we can see, the hunters have hunted all the animals that was here. So we actually are going to have to migrate just as summer is about to hit us, which is sad, because summer is supposed to have the best plant food available through the entire year. And since my tribe leader continues to grow older, she will also continue to place more restrictions on how I can place the policies. In the end, I will just have to migrate every 2-3 months because I cannot get enough people to build more groups, to create more harvesting groups or fishing groups or hunting groups or whatever, so there will never be enough food. And then we have to wait till the tribe leader dies and cross our fingers that we can actually play around a little bit with the policies again. But you know, that's part of the game. this is part of surviving. Not everything is supposed to be easy and straightforward. You are supposed to have to mix and tricks and do your own methodology and figure out stuff. This is the fun part. It is fun to figure out new things to do. It is fun to be met with new challenges that you never had before. I've never had this challenge before. I have over 160 people and suddenly I don't have enough people to fill the group so that everyone can get food. This is new. So let's just figure out a way to make it work. No intention of giving up. And look, even Nabar is refusing to give up. He is still thinking about leaving. You go, girl. So you can see there's only one more notch on the labor rates that she could possibly press it down to. And when that time comes, there will be even more difficult to fill my groups to get enough food for everyone. But you know what? I will just have to rely on constant migration until we get a new leader. It is what it is, and I will work around whatever obstacle I meet. This is part of the challenge, and I actually quite enjoy it. I need a break after this. A small holiday, please. So we are basically out of food and people have started to threaten to leave, and you can see the unrest is increasing. But before it gets too bad, let's pack down our peltas and get our butts up and are running again. I'm guessing we should perhaps go back to the Wonky River Valley because, well, we might get lucky in our seed. You know, you have to stay positive. You have to stay positive. And I intend to do that. Okay, so all the peltas has been dismantled, so here we go. And as you can see, we are now 175 population, and we are moving because we do not want it to go lower. And we also have our dear friend Nabar still coming with us. Attaboy, let's do this. Alrighty then, just landed, and the first thing we see is a rosehip bush. It's only one though, but it's better than nothing. Quite a few more trees here, so maybe we'll get a bit more mushrooms. One can only hope. So let's just get started immediately. Chuck down a gazillion fireplaces and send people out to get a lot more food. A really good thing is that we are now almost in summer, which means there will be a lot of produce for us to harvest here. So that means that we might be able to dry up some of the raw fish and the raw meat for once. I mean, we normally have it so that people eat it raw because there's never enough dried of any of them, to be honest. It's hand-to-mouth feeding constantly, isn't it? Let's do some of these storage areas as well. Sticks and stones for the fireplaces. It's very beautiful the way I've placed down the fireplaces, don't you think? It's very aesthetic. Or now. Okay, so the dryers are also down because we are going to dry our food. We are going to get some dried food for once, I hope. Yeah, being optimistic. So look at that. Look at the rosehip coming in. That is fantastic. The meat is coming in. The fish is coming in. I cannot see any honey yet, but it might. Yeah, it's a little bit too early for the honey. But the rosehips is gonna come in aplenty. Yeah, let's see how well we are going to do here with this food incoming. What could possibly go wrong? I just jinxed us. Oh, and look at that. We also have some hazelnuts, and I see a few beetroots as well. That is fantastic. That's great. Excellent. Are we actually having a good seed for once? We shall see. Let's get down the baskets for the food. There is nothing more satisfying than seeing the food coming in slowly but surely and increasing in size. Look at all the fish and look at all the meat. Oh brother, this is going to be one great summer. The summer of 53-65 will forever be remembered in this tribe. This is probably the only summer where they have been able to eat proper meals at every meal time. Poor people. All the hardship they have to go through. But look at that. That is such a beautiful sight. Plenty food. Yay, I'm so happy. Oh, great. Rain. Okay, well, we are going to get clean because we have nowhere to hide. We don't have a single hot tub, so we're all going to be soaking wet. It is what it is. Well, at least this summer, so it's not going to be icy cold, is it? Well, maybe at night. Ouch. People might get sick. We need huts. Oh, and we also definitely need pits for especially the hazelnuts and the rose hips. Most certainly need that. So let's make sure that we get down quite a few so we don't have a long line of people helping themselves from the same pit. That is extremely much waste of time. Yeah, it looks so cool when they're going bang, 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 bang in a row and they're getting ready to be built. So as soon as these are built and have been assigned produce, we really should get the pelt huts up and running. It is summer, so I guess we can get away with not having them up, immediately, a few days after we migrated. But we really shouldn't wait any much longer, because having to sleep by the fireplace or in the open for that matter will increase their unrest, and we really don't want that. So for now, it is not the lack of food that is causing the unrest. It is that they have to either sleep in the open or by the fireplace. So the quicker we get up the pelt huts, the quicker they will lose that unrest. And that is our current agenda at the moment. So we are surviving really well where we are now. This seed seems to be good. I do hope I didn't just jinx us. Please, karma, be kind for once. So let's chuck down a ton of these and see them build it, and then we can enjoy as we see the grumpy faces going more and more away. Look at the fireplaces. They are like really bellowing grey smoke. It's like, did someone put wet wood on the fireplaces? All of them? Really? It has got to be someone who's a bit dim. Come on, nobody puts on wet wood on the fireplaces. Dude, seriously. Oh, or maybe it had rained during the night and the wood was already a little bit wet. That could be it. But I actually think that it being someone who's a bit dim in a few ends could be just as well the reason. Well, you never know. You never know with these guys. They are individuals. They do behave differently. It is quite hilarious to watch at times. Look at all the nice food coming in. This is so great. I might actually have to put my fish and my meat on, configure it so they can't eat it until all the hazelnuts and the rose hips are eaten up. That'll be the first time I have to do that in quite a few years. Which is good news. It's welcome news. Okay, come on guys, let's get these huts up and running. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still lacking quite a few. Not far off though. I do keep the tribe really busy. Okay, so we're also going to need some baskets. Let's get those down before I forget. We need for the finished products. We're also going to need for the honey, because we have honey here as well. The luxury in this place never ends, it seems. Yep, that should do it. All our pits are built and have been assigned produce. And we have been quite optimistic, haven't we? We have assigned several to especially the rose hips and also the hazelnuts. This is just so that people do not have to stand in a long line for the same pit when they are having their meals. We should also chuck down some luxury. Let's get some big straw huts. That will keep them even happier. Okay, let's hope they quickly finish the hut, because we will need it to keep unrest down. We still have plenty food. We have a lot of fish. Meat is trickling in quite nicely as well, not in the same amounts of course as the fish, but quite happy with it. So I think I have to place down the configuration so that they cannot take it out until they have eaten up the hazelnuts and the other plant foods. I also think it's smart to remove one of my fishing groups and also adjust down the amount of hunters, at least for a while, because we cannot be known to have wasted food with such a large tribe when we have to migrate a few times per year to stay alive because of the lack of food. If we are losing people to starvation, we are being idiots because we are now wasting food. So I'm going to do this and then see if I can reduce the waste as much as possible. So let's celebrate the good summer by building a few benches. You probably would have guessed it. So let's have a few. I just think they're so lovely. It adds so much to the coziness of the tribe. You know, having them around the fireplace. It's so including, isn't it? Makes me feel that there's a good belonging there, doesn't it, between the people? I like that. I now also need to keep a really sharp eye out for when the plant food is going low, so that I can remove the restrictions on the dried meats and the dried fish. Otherwise, people are going to starve to death with plenty of food in the baskets, and I can't have that, that's for sure. I am also going to task my gatherers to get reed because I think we might actually manage to be here long enough to have good use of a big reed hut. I have also decided to take down the amount of fishermen and also to actually pause the hunters because there is too much food coming in of the plant food to justify keeping incoming both fish and or at least this amount of fish and also the meat. So I paused the hunters and I paused one of the fisher groups. So hoping that I can avoid losing too much of the plant food because you see the hazelnuts are already way over halfway to decaying completely. So I have to have people. I need them to eat up whatever's there first. So let's get down an extra straw hut. If I can find a flat ground, that is. Yeah, there. Go. Ish. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I always have this need to have it neatly placed. I mean, seriously, it doesn't matter. This is not a permanent camp. This is pure survival. Let's go. Uh, well, I would certainly argue that you can have space for both. You can be both neat and also surviving. I see no reason why you cannot have both. I just realized that I have a very small argument with myself, and I wonder who won. I think it was me. Oh, good grief. I might actually need a bit of help after this. It's driving me a little bit being tiddly-bong. Talking to myself. Well, it is role play though, isn't it? You kind of are playing with your tribe. And when you're doing that, you're also talking to yourself, are you not? You're having full discussions with your own self. I mean, you will forever win, won't you? Anyway, let's get something constructive done. The plant food is going nicely down, so I think now is the time to take away the restrictions on access to the dried meat and the dried fish, and also to activate the paused fishermen and also the paused hunters. We cannot rest on our laurels. We need to be proactive in keeping food because it is 170 plus people. So if you times that by almost two, you will get the daily need for the entire tribe to stay healthy. When I saw the amount of fish that was coming in on a daily basis, I also decided to build a storehouse. This means that the fish will keep through the entire winter, and that is something we definitely need because we have over 400 fish. So this is definitely one of those times where a storehouse is really needed. If I had, however, built it during the spring or even summer, there would have been quite a bit less decay. But I did not honestly think that we would do so well. So I was thinking, nah, it's no need. But here we are. Okay, so now we have enough reed to actually build a big reed hut. Let's find a flat ground, like today, Lily, today. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am trying. I am trying to find flat ground. Really? There is no flat ground anywhere. I'm going back and forth like an idiot trying to find flat ground. Come on, you can do it. You had it there. You had it there. Jesus Christ on the mic. Come, come on, you can do it. I believe in you. I believe in me. Yes, we win. Oh my goodness gracious. How am I doing this? Okay, let's try to pretend that we are normal for just 5 minutes. See if we can do that. I believe in me. My tribe leader is now so old that she has placed almost max limit on all the restrictions in the policies. I have to do something with the groups. Oh, why is there only one there? There's supposed to be 14. I forgot to put it on. Oh, anyway, I probably can't afford to have this group now because I don't have enough people. Because now only the adults are allowed to work. I mean, really, this is going to be really difficult to do, and I certainly don't need any wood choppers anymore, that's for sure. I need to put it a little bit down. Let's go with 8 on the crafters. So I need to economize on some of the groups in order to get enough food, but I do need hunters. So let's do 4 or so on the hunters and see how that goes. I probably will have to adjust this as I go along. I feel 4 hunters is very little, but I have no choice because she has placed the restrictions down to the maximum. This means only adults are allowed to work. Can take down some of the amounts for some of the materials because we won't likely be building another reed hut. I never normally build more than one reed hut, no matter how big my tribe is. But I could change my mind if we are over 200. Who knows? We shall see. So my tribe leader is now 72 years old and she is also on 16 out of 100 fitness. That means that she has roughly 3 months left to live before she will pass from old age. And we are then going to be smack in the middle of winter. And I hope to the deities of ancient cities that we get a leader with less restrictions. You know, we could have really, really bad luck and get a really old one with a completely and utter bad grading of the trades. We could get one who has absolutely everything maxed out and he could be like only 65, and then we have to go for another 10 years or so with the same issue. Oh brother, let's hope we get a good leader again. Okay, so it's end autumn. I am going to add more fishermen because the fish is going drastically down. The meat is still trickling in nicely. We still have over 170. And then also the raw. And let's see if I can get away with another fishing group. You can see they don't fill up because we just don't have enough people. And I'm going to open up for the meat so people can help themselves from that as well because the reach is almost halfway DK now. So I have managed by tricksing and mixing a bit on the configurations and what I'm allowing to hunt and not hunt and fish and not fish to avoid any kind of waste. And that is exactly what I wanted. So in order to manage this, you need to be really vigilant and keep a really sharp eye and tricks and mix a little bit with the groups, with what you are saving, what you're allowing people to eat, and so on. You will learn this as you go along. It's not like this is something that the game does for you. You have to do it yourself. Otherwise, there will be tons of waste. There is micromanagement in this game, and there's plenty of it, especially if you have much larger tribes than what was supposed to be during the Mesolithic, which was roughly 100. I'm also going to go see if I can get away with adding 2 more hunters to the group, so now have 10 hunters. Because the gathering groups are going to soon be out of things to harvest, so they can easily drop from their group and go to my hunter group instead. So this is also one of those things that you will have to mix and tricks and make sure that those who have the best usage or best outcome of being in a group should be in that group above anything else, because plant food will decay, the animals will not. So Yeah, just keep in mind there are lots of small things that you constantly need to consider in order to have maximum efficiency in all your groups. And now my leader is in her last few months. You can see the skull on her portrait. This means that she's nearing end of life. When they reach 10 out of 100 fitness, they are counting down to when they are passing. When the funeral rites are coming to the game, I would most certainly have given her a very nice funeral because she has been an exceptional leader. She has guided us really, really well with the tribe policies, and she has helped me to keep the tribe alive for many, many years. So I would have given her a very, very worthy funeral. Now she is so old that she has imposed absolute maximum restrictions on all the policies. And as you can see, the rationing that I had on one notch has been disagreed with and pushed down to zero rationing. This entails that we will have to migrate sooner rather than later because we are going to go out of food. The positive thing is that we have actually managed to stay for almost a year in the same locality, thanks be to a good seed for once. So this only goes to show how random it is, and it is exactly like it used to be back then. You do find areas that are very suitable, and then you do find areas that are not suitable at all. So here we are, living the way they used to. So I have upped my hunters to max, and they are hunting everything they can find. My groups are full, and almost there are some of the fishing groups that keep fluctuating along with some of the harvesting groups because there are only some hazelnuts left, and also we have found some mushrooms. So this place has been really good, but you know, when you are this size, you will, like a locust swarm, bleed it absolutely dry within a year or so, no matter how good it is. So I'm going to prepare my tribe for migration very shortly and dismantle the pelt huts and bring with us. I have ordered all the pelt huts to be dismantled, and as soon as the sticks also are gone, as well as the leather, we are going to migrate. I would like to go back to the coast and see if we can be lucky again and get a good seed for food. We also now have a new constant companion. His name is Marco, and he will be following us around for many, many years. We have a new old friend. Okay, so let's get to the coast and get started. Okay, so this is our new place. It is the coast, and it has that weird little island that it always has. Let's see, what can we see of food and stuff? Okay, I can't see any food at the moment. That doesn't mean there is none, but it just means that, oh, never mind, I see a rosy bush, but it's only one. Let's just start building the fireplaces and then take it from there. I'm just gonna do the usual stuff, you know, the food dryers, the baskets, the huts, etc., etc., and also adjust the groups. As predicted, our tribe leader has now died, and we have gotten a new leader, so let's have a look at his policies and let's see what they look like. I hope they are not bad. No, that's good. At least we get some workforce and some rationing. He is not the world's best, but for now he's actually doing exactly what I need. I would like to get some of the food storage down quickly. It's almost spring, meaning there will be plant food slowly trickling in. So I'm going to chuck down quite a few of these just in case. I don't want to waste anything. As you can see, I've been placing down the dryers and some of the baskets, waiting for those to be built. And of course, I also demand to have my benches so I can sit and relax with the elder in the tribe. I think that's just fair and square. I'm quite impressed that my computer is still keeping up with the game, with all the people I have. I have over 250 people already, and we are year 15. Just turned 15 though. So, yeah, it's keeping up rather well, I have to admit. There is a lack of food still. There is not enough for everyone to be completely happy. But I do have it on one notch of the rationing and hoping that that will keep us from migrating more or less the same time as we are arriving. And that was probably the shortest stay we've ever had. Like 3 months max did we manage to stay there before all the food was gone and people was really starting to become grumpy. So I've just had to up the camp and go back to the wonky river valley. We still have food, but I did not dare to wait for summer or even spring to see if it would up itself, because in the meantime I would lose many people. So migration it is. Okay, so we are back to the old stomping grounds with the wonky river. We just quickly need people to get food to stave off their hunger because they are all hungry, and I just cross my fingers that everyone will survive. I'm just going to go find a suitable place to set up camp, and it doesn't really matter what it looks like, we just need to survive. So let's get going and start placing down the fireplaces. I will do the normal stuff, you know, I will place down the fireplaces, I will add a few storage areas. As time goes by, I will add the dryers, I will add the hearts, the stuff like that. And first things first, always food first. So fireplaces for now, and then the rest later. And then we have the first lever in the new place. I'm not surprised in the slightest. This is day 2 without enough food for everyone, and I am actually anticipating losing a few of the weaker children to starvation, which irks me tremendously because I should have known better. But one learns from one's mistakes, so it is a learning process for everyone. So miraculously enough, I've had no more deaths to starvation, even though I anticipated at least 3 to 4 more, because I do have quite a few weaker children with very poor grades of some of the traits. But somehow we managed to get enough food to stave off death for those children, which I'm extremely happy about. So now that we managed to stave off starvation or famine at all, I have placed down a few pelt huts, and with that also I'm hoping to relieve some of their unrest. And of course, if the food allows it, we will add more and more and more of these things that will calm down people's unrest. I have also placed down some dryers because the raw meat is just laying on the ground at the moment. Of course, I've also added the baskets for the raw produce to be in. You can see that the produce is still coming in even though it's not their season, such as the hazelnuts. This means that they have survived the winter, and we are reaping the benefits of that now, because the hazelnut in particular is a very good nutrient for the kids. And as you can see, we are now just started summer or late spring, and people are starving. We are out of food again, so we have to up the camp and migrate again. We shall, as usual, go to our place on the coast and hope for a better seed. I don't think it's going to be possible to manage to build a large village or add a ton of huts and stuff like that. I think we just need to focus on pure survival this time with regards to food. And those who are grumpy for having to sleep by the fireplace, they will just have to leave, because we just don't have the time to get enough food to keep everyone alive while we are building the huts. It has to be huts, starvation, or food, and only fireplaces to sleep by. And of course we are prioritizing the food and the fireplaces. So here we go again. It doesn't really help that our tribe leader is so old that all the restrictions have been maxed out. Oh, thank goodness he just died. Please, let's go have a look at the restrictions and let's see if we can put it back to something we can actually live with. Oh yes, that is fantastic. Now more people can work and we can put it on the first notch of rationing again. We might survive a week or so. We should see. We are at a whopping 260 members, so I'm not surprised in the slightest that we have kind of reached a max of what we can manage. but I will see if I can get my tribe perhaps to 300 now. And where are all the migrants? We've had like three, or maybe is it four migrant groups we've had? The largest one was like 14 people. That was like year 12 or something. So we've been really unlucky with the migrants as well. And I also remember the first group being only two. So we have not had a lot of luck with our migrants or our food seed for that matter. But you know, here is to change. Let's see how it goes. So this is basically what we must do to survive. We can only build fireplaces, and the rest of the time nothing goes to building anything. Everything goes to gather the food. We are basically bleeding the land dry within a few months, and then we are migrating again. So here we are again, another migration, chucking down the storage areas for stones and for sticks, and then adding a ton of fireplaces. And then everyone is off to gather food, and this is how we have to do it to survive. We just cannot afford to build any huts or anything else that can appease any kind of unrest, because the only way that I can keep people from leaving is food. I will soon have maxed out my allowance for gathering groups. I am now at 7. The max is 8. So that is our natural stop, whether we like it or not, to how far we can go with the same tribe. It doesn't really help. Actually, it makes it 10 times worse that my tribe leader now has placed a new restriction, and this time he's taken away the few people I needed to have all the groups functioning. So now I'm back to having too few people for my groups. So we are probably back again to starvation. It is constant hand to mouth, and people are constantly hungry. I must admit though that I actually really enjoy this challenge. It is really testing me on how I use people, how I use the policies, how I use the groups, the amounts of groups, the resources, how I do things in order to reach as far as possible in basically impossible conditions. So I am actually really happy I did this, and hopefully when the Neolithic is fully here, I can do a challenge about how long to keep a tribe alive with farms, maybe in sedentary lifestyle. I can't wait to do all this. There's so much to come. I'm really looking forward to it. It does go without saying, though, that we are not supposed to play like this. I mean, there is no beauty in it with regards to placing down huts in a certain way and living long term, building wonders, building projects, you know, having lovely fences all around you and the lovely nature and, you know, enjoying all these things. Because what we're doing now is what we shouldn't do. It was what never happened in the Mesolithic. So we just have to focus on survival and pure survival, and that's basically it. There is no time for coziness. There just is no time for it. So people are still unhappy. People are hungry because there's barely enough food, and it's the same day it's caught, it's also gone. And as soon as winter is about to start, we are off again, because there is absolutely zero way that we can survive the winter in the same place. We have to have all the vegetables ready at the hand everywhere we go. So it's just going to be really difficult because we can't skip winter, can we? We have to spend winter somewhere. So we are doomed to spend winter somewhere. I just hope we can always land in a place where there are plenty of plant foods that are surviving the winter, such as the hazelnuts, because they can keep my tribe alive over winter even though there's nothing else. So here's to having that luck. Let's see how far we can go in this place. We do still only have fireplaces. There's absolutely 0 point building anything else. People just have to have some unrest. At least they are not leaving because they are having food. They would be leaving if they have tons of huts but no food. They would also be dying like flies. So there's that. I'm going to take away the rationing in the hopes that some of the children will grow a little bit stronger and reach their targeted fitness quicker so that they can start working again I think I can do this safely for at least a few sleeps, and that will help. You need to juggle around the different ways of doing things in order to get your people to start working, because the tribe leader, as you can see, has now placed it down so that I do not have the amount of workforce that I need to keep all my groups busy. And you can see that when you are not rationing, your children will grow their fitness quicker. So let's try it at least. Okay, so I placed back the rationing on 1 notch, and let's hope that that did the trick also for the adults, so that their fitness are reduced slower as well. And for those who are actually able to work, every little helps. Yeah, I was just waiting for that. Now the tribe leader is so old that all restrictions are an absolute max. This means that after this night, we just have to migrate again. We cannot stay any longer. We are in December, going into winter. December is the last month of autumn. So, migration again, it is. So we managed a few more nights, a bit more into the winter, but now we are completely out, and we are trying to go to the coast to see if we can be kept alive there. So here we are. I have already placed down a billion fireplaces and the usual 2 storage areas. And that's it. That's all I'm going to place down, because experience has taught me if I try to build anything else, people... Oh! New leader! Oh, let's go have a look at her policies, please. Let me see. Oh yeah, she has good fitness. That is excellent. Oh yes! Yes! This is such great news! Look at that, we can have the work age exactly the way that I always like to have it. So now I can max out my harvesting groups, meaning 8 groups, and that is the maximum of what you're allowed in the game. At least in the current development. Check out all my fireplaces. I wasn't exaggerating when I said I had a gazillion fireplaces. It is all I've built. Oh, and I also have a bench. I do have a bench. The Tarpan Valley tribe is a tribe I started many weeks ago as a testing project. I have enjoyed this challenge so much, and I do hope that you guys have enjoyed it as well. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and I do hope to see you next time. In that meantime, have fun and take care.